science tutor specializing in anatomy and physiology, college biology, and medical terminology. If you're preparing for a career in nursing, pre-med, or allied health, you already know how overwhelming introductory science courses can feel. My mission is simple: to help you cut through the medical jargon, understand complex systems, and feel confident walking into your exams. I believe science is not, it's about simply memorizing concepts of facts. It's about understanding how those facts connect and how the systems work together. That's why in my tutoring session, we focus on three key change strategies. First, visualizing complex concepts. I turn difficult pathways and processes into clear, memorable diagrams so you can actually see how everything works together. Secondly, decoding medical terminology. Once you understand how melatonin moves, you can break down unfamiliar medical terms and exam questions instead of relying on guesswork. Third, active recall exam strategy. We use targeted practice questions and effective study techniques that are connected directly to your course and material syllabus. I also believe technology can be a valuable learning resource. We can use responsibly when appropriate. I may use AI-assisted tools to help generate additional practice questions, study examples, explanations, or learning resources tailored to a student's needs. I always review and adapt these materials to make sure we support the students' course objectives and understanding. AI is a learning aid, not a replacement for the student's own thinking and not a replacement for personalized instruction sessions. To give you an example of how I teach, let's take a classic anatomy and physiology topic, the neuronal pathways for olfaction of the sense of smell. Think of a smell like a message traveling to the roof of your nose into your brain in logical sequence. It starts with the axons of the olfactory neurons inside your nasal cavity. Those nerve fibers detect odor molecules. It starts with the axons. It makes the fiber travels upward to tiny openings called the foramina of the piriform plate, which is part of the spool located above the nasal cavity. From the signal, from there, the signal reaches the auditory bulb, which acts as an important relay in a processing center. Inside the olfactory bulb, interneurons help process and pass along the signal. When the information then travels to the olfactory tract, which carries the signal deeper into our brain. Finally, the information reaches the olfactory cortex, where the brain processes the information and you recognize the smell. Maybe something familiar like, let's say, fresh coffee, which I love coffee. Now, here's where understanding the pattern becomes especially useful in an exam. If you are given a multiple choice question asking you to identify the correct sequence, don't just try to memorize the answer, that doesn't work. Think about direction as a signal. The pathway begins in the nose, passes through the piriform plate, reaches the olfactory bulb, continues through the olfactory tract, and ultimately reaches the olfactory cortex. So remember, this is an easy way to remember it. Nerve fibers, bone holes, olfactory bulb, olfactory tract, and finally olfactory cortex. When you understand the pathway instead of simply memorizing isolated terms, you can use logic to eliminate incorrect answers, even if the question is worded differently from when you practice. That's the kind of learning I want to bring into our tutoring sessions. With my degree in health sciences and my ongoing study in applied psychology, I understand the importance of adapting learning strategies to a student. I also have experience teaching groups of different ages, from young learners to adults across science and history-based curriculum. Whether you're struggling with your first anatomy physiology course, preparing for a nursing program, or working towards an A in the class, my goal is to make learning structured, understandable, and completely judgment-free. Send me a message with your syllabus, current topic, or a question how you're struggling with, and let's build a game plan together. I'm looking forward to working with you and helping you become more confident in science. Y también hablo español, te puedo ayudar. Muchas gracias.